The fuel priming bulb on my Husqvarna 224L string trimmer, it is cracked. Whenever you go prime the fuel, it just gets fuels on your hands, gets fuel everywhere. It still runs. Now, when it's running, it's not spewing fuel everywhere. It's just whenever you prime it. So I thought about replacing just the bulb itself. Now, a little backstory. If you have watched some of my other videos, you know this string trimmer is like anywhere between 13 and 15 years old. And it's been running great. It still does. And that fuel priming bulb has been there since I bought it. So I'm actually amazed it lasted this long. So what I'm going to do is I thought about replacing the priming bulb itself, but then I realized I've had this carburetor kit for this weed eater, an aftermarket, in my tool shed for quite a few years, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to replace the whole thing since the carburetor already has a priming bulb in it. This carburetor kit I bought through Amazon, and like I said, it was many years ago. I will go through my Amazon history and I will put it up here somewhere as to how many years ago it was. And at the time, I did not need the carburetor. All I needed was, I think it was the fuel line, maybe the air filter, and the fuel filter, if I'm not mistaken. But buying this whole thing, which it came with a carburetor kit, carburetor itself, it came with air filters, it came with a spark plug, it came with the fuel lines, and a few other things. I will put a little video of what's left in this thing. So yeah, like I said, at the time I did not need everything. It was just the fuel line. The main thing was the fuel line for sure, because it was cracked, and then maybe the air filter and or the fuel filter. But it was the best bang for the buck, instead of buying those things separate. For 20 bucks, I get all this. So, and like I said, instead of me trying to figure out what size of priming bulb I need, I'll replace this whole carburetor, which already has a priming bulb in it. And like I said, I've had this weed eater for going on 13 to 15 years. And who knows, it might actually run a little better than what it has been. I just have not noticed the loss in power because I used to so much for so many years. And I'm guessing I'm getting used to if it has been declining on power. So that's what we're gonna do. I have not watched any videos on how to replace it. I have no idea how many tools or what tools I need. I brought quite a few sockets and pliers and screwdrivers. So we'll see what happens. If you're not sure as to where the carburetor is within your piece of equipment, I think one of the easiest way would be just follow your fuel lines, like you see right here. And that's where the carburetor is, and the priming bulb is right back here, right underneath, right behind those fuel lines. And my apologies if you can hear the roosters. If you have watched some of my other videos, between the roosters and the guineas, they tend to follow me wherever I go. I'm gonna take this cover off. It's got a couple of tabs right here. You squeeze in and comes off. Air filter. And then your carb is gonna be right back here behind this plastic plate. I already checked. It takes an 8mm socket. Hopefully this is a better angle. Like I say, your carburetor is going to be behind this plastic plate, and these nuts right here, they take a 8mm socket. Gonna disconnect some of the lines coming in here. Some of the fuel lines. Got 2 of them. For the throttle cable, which is what's left, I'm gonna hold it at full throttle manually. Hold it right there. And then I'm gonna use needle nose pliers to push the cable out. So there's that. And there you have it. That's the old carburetor. I want to make sure. Now this is the new one, and this is the old one. So I want to make sure they match, like all the holes and connections and everything. It looks like so far everything looks fairly similar. The position of this tubing is a different angle, but I don't think that's going to affect much. That's the top section. That's the bottom where the primer bulb is. So my apologies, I had to pause for a second. Like I said, it is sunny right now, but it's like a little bit of rain. So I'm trying to rush this. My friends, success completely. With a caveat, the prime ball on the new one, it was not doing its job for whatever reason. I guess we'll see on the next refueling. I might take it out and put it back in there. So it took me about 15, give or take, about 15 pulls with a full choke. And then after about 15 pulls or whatever, you know, started right up. And it's already warmed up, so it is gonna start. Now it does have a brush cutting blade. I'm not sure if this string trimmer was designed to have one of these, but I've been using it with it, and that's why you notice like a little, almost like a little wobble, like towards the end whenever I let go of the throttle. So, but usually with a brand new one, it does not do that because it's even, and I tend to cut things that blade was not meant to be cut. So, like I said, for $20, I got all those parts that I showed in the video. I got the fuel lines, the air filters, a spare air filter, the spark plug. I'm not sure about the quality of the spark plug. I've never used it. I went with a well-known brand. I want to replace it a few years back. And so, yeah, I'm glad I did it. It did not take that long at all. I am not very mechanically inclined. So if you see any quote-unquote how-to videos on how to fix something on the truck or on the power equipment, by all means, rest assured that if you're watching this and you're not sure if you're smart enough to do it, yeah, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I would like to know if you would have replaced just the bulb itself or the whole thing like I did. So my friends, from my wife and I and our boy Rocky, we appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Good boy. That's a good boy.